Plaintiff Ashley Bazemore says the defendant is her cousin, and she is deeply saddened to be suing her in court today. Ashley says she's always been there to help the defendant and even stepped in to help her fight a girl, but she's suing her today for the value of a car. Defendant Rakia Stuckey says Ashley is lazy and she can't hold down a job. Rakia insists when she borrowed Ashley's car, it was already damaged, and therefore she denies owing for anything.
Start with you.
I'm deeply saddened that we're here. It didn't have to come to this point, and I've always been there for Rakia. I've babysat for her. I've loaned her money.
When you were babysitting, you were there for her mother.
No. I mean, just in general, us being cousins throughout years that she's had her baby and.
Oh, babysit for her child.
For her child.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you babysat for her as a young
I babysat for her too.
All right.
I've always been there for Rakia. I've fought for Rakia. You know, she got into a physical altercation with some girls, and I had to jump in. And you know, that's my cousin. I wasn't gonna let her be hurt or anything like that. And
how has she treated you over the years?
Through the years, she's not been there for me.
Has she refused you with things that she could do?
If she could do it, she just didn't want to.
Right.
You know, just a little bit about her character. She's stuck up and snobby and...
Well, we're gonna see about that. Ma'am, why don't you give me some background?
Well, Ashley is my cousin. We really never hung out because of the age difference. She's, if I'm not mistaken, about 5 years older than me, and to clear the record, she never loaned me money. She's stingy like that. This is just something for her to be able to try to get some money, because she lazy. She hasn't had a job for I don't know how long.
She's suing you about a car.
Yeah.
So I hope she didn't loan you her car with her lazy self. Because obviously you had a car and you didn't have to borrow a car. Otherwise, you'd be lazy. Go ahead. Let's start with you on the value of the car.
Rakia called me and asked me if I could help her move her things. She didn't have anyone else to move her things for her.
Why
as
not?
far as a U-Haul or a
Why
truck,
not?
because she didn't have the money to get a U-Haul. Nobody else wanted to stick their neck out there to help her move her things.
She didn't have other family and friends that
No
could help?
recourse.
Nobody
She
likes
cares
her.
about herself, I guess.
Really?
I guess. So
She says, really? What do you say in terms of whether
I
you...
asked her to help me move her car to put some money in her pocket. For gas money and everything else, because she never has gas money.
Oh, so you did have other people who could have
Yeah,
helped.
but I chose to ask her to help her out.
Okay, how much gas did you put in her car?
I put about $10 in there.
You hear the people laughing at you, right? All right. Go ahead, ma'am. She said she was helping you.
in the past, I've loaned Rakia my car so she can get to work.
So what happened in this instance?
In this instance, I was sitting at home. She called me. She asked me if I would help her. I didn't want to do it, but, you know, the person I am, I did it. And we traded vehicles. I took her car. She took mine.
When was this, by the way?
On August the 27th in 2011.
Okay.
She was on her way back for the second trip, stopped at the gas station. She called me and said the car wouldn't start. So I stopped what I was doing. I went and to the gas station, and the gear shift is what was broken, and it fell. It didn't come all the way off. It was hanging down. It just drooped down. So I'm going like this, you know, like.
It was already like that when you came?
Yes, it was.
When I pulled up, it did not look broke when I first glanced at it. When I touched it, the thing just drooped down, and I'm going like this, like it's broke. She's like, I didn't use any force. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. So I'm like, you know, it's broke. And I'm steady going like this, it's broke. She's like, well, I don't know what happened. Rakia said, you know, I didn't have anything to worry about, that she would get the car fixed. And
did she get it fixed? Obviously
she didn't get it fixed. We pushed it to the side of the road. It sat there. The city, there's a 3-day limit. The city told it.
Why didn't you get it back?
Just because I didn't have the money at the time, and I felt I shouldn't have to pay for it.
You didn't have the money to get it from
I didn't have the money to get it towed or fixed.
Yeah, because it sounds like you're suing for the entire car.
Yes.
Okay, you ever heard, no, I guess you wouldn't have heard of mitigating your damages. That means you just can't let the damages pile up and then sue somebody for the damages. How long ago was this?
Almost 2 years ago.
11, right. And you haven't been able to get towing fees for 2 years?
Absolutely, I have.
So you should have gotten it in 2 years. The question now is whether she caused the gear to be broken.
I guess she spoke to her mechanic and he told her that the car was going to break eventually, that it just so happened to break on her. So she
all cars are going to break eventually.
So then...
He's right about that.
So then after a few days of me calling her and pricing out the new part, she stopped answering her phone. She stopped, communicating with me, and we haven't spoken in almost 2 years. And
you say you did price out the new part?
I did.
How much was it?
It was really a used part for $75, and the mechanic was going to put it on for $50 to $75, a new steering column.
So that would have cost how much?
About $150 at the most.
Okay, instead you want nearly $3,000.
For my vehicle, yes.
Because you failed to pick it up from impound for 2 years, even though you had the money to.
Yeah.
Okay, good enough. You do know she didn't cause you to leave it there for 2 years. She did cause it to break, and she did cause it to be impounded, but you have to pick it up within a reasonable amount of time. So my question to you would be, how much were the towing fees and
I
30
don't know
days of impound?
I don't know. The city told it.
Remember you said you couldn't pay. Now you're telling me you didn't even check to see how much you would have to pay if you could pay. All right, ma'am, what do you say to this?
Well, I called her and asked her if I could use her vehicle in order to move my belongings, which she came over and she told me.
Because you wanted to give her $10 of gas.
Yeah.
You thought that would help her.
It would have.
You would help her and her.
Yeah. She came over and she told me that the gear shift was already broken, but it was still usable. She transported the first load for me that day. And then I believe it was the second day. I don't know which day it was exactly. She told me that she had something to do. So I let her use my car, and she showed me how to move the gear shift in order to put it into drive or reverse or park.
Did you do that?
No.
Why did you hesitate in telling me that?
No.
And why aren't you looking me in my eye? That's the signal of a person who's not telling the truth.
No, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I pulled up to the gas station and I tried to put the vehicle in park. And I didn't use any force or anything, and I just did it how she told me to. I put it in park, but it just snapped. And I called her and let her know. I called the mechanic, which I have a statement from him, and I asked him to come and look at the vehicle because I thought it was just something that was loose and could be tightened up.
Okay, what did he say was wrong?
He said that it was going to eventually break from wear and tear.
Okay, that's your defense? All right, and that it was already damaged?
Yes.
All right. And what type of discussions did you have with her afterwards?
We really didn't have too much of a discussion. She didn't ask me to pay for the vehicle. I mean, $150.
No, I'm not asking you to analyze.
Oh.
I'm asking you what did you all discuss?
We discussed about something that she had left in my car from when she...
You never discussed breaking her gear?
No.
All right, I don't believe you. $150, I don't believe a person would cause damage to someone's car and you never discuss it. You just ride away and y'all quiet and in the car. Never say anything about it. You act like it never happened. Don't believe you. I'll grant you $150, ma'am, because you had an obligation to go and pick that car up. Were you to tell me how much it costs per day in impound, I would probably grant you 30 days, which is a reasonable amount of time for you to have gone and gotten your car. And secondly, how much it costs to tow it. You don't know any of this, and you didn't check. $150 is your judgment. That's for the damage I believe she did to your car. All right, have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
She's just spiteful. She's only doing this because she just wants some money, and it didn't work out in her favor. You can see it all over her face. She's
Regardless,
mad.
You used my vehicle. You did what you needed to do, regardless if my vehicle was raggedy or
but
muffler
you knew it was
loud
already
or whatever.
broken.
No,
You gonna try to
my
come
car was
sue me
not
for
broke.
something? Are you serious?
My car was not broke.
We got nothing to say to each other
Regardless,
after
you're
this.
absolutely
period.
right. We haven't spoken in 2 years, and it's sad that it has to be that way, but it's
we
that way.
haven't spoken, but you brought your
But it's
daughter.
that way.
You brought your kids to my daughter's birthday
Okay,
party.
they're
Really?
cousins.
So
they're family.
If you're not speaking to me,
We're family.
nothing goes.
But we're
nothing
family.
goes.